yes, I'm crazy, and for some reason I thought that using squishmallow clips as earrings was a good idea and would be super cute, but it looks absolutely ridiculous. But do we keep it for the video just because it's funny and like it's stupid? I think we do. Oh my god, this is horrifying. Hi, hello, I'm Cecilia and welcome back to already my third studio vlog. And for today's confession, I'm stuck in a feeling of monotony and apathy, and so to fix that, we're going to create some cute little stupid things that are just excessively happy, because that's every small biz owner's coping mechanism, and it's kind of an issue. The coming few days, I am heavily preparing for a shop update in about a week. I kind of made it a little bit too much to handle for myself because I have a lot of products planned that might come out really bad. So I'm kind of nervous, but I guess we'll keep going. Please, Axel, you gotta look at the camera, baby. Okay, there we go. I'm making some new types of products. I'm really excited, but also really nervous. To start, I'm making pins with shrink plastic and resin, and I've never done this before. So I guess when you watch the video, we'll both find out if I fail or prevail. I'm also sublimating a few tote bags. I did make some tester products, but there's still a lot to fix and there's a lot of problems, so yeah, we'll have to deal with that. And let's see, then there's sticker sheets, which I've never done before because I've only ever done die-cut stickers. And I'm making magnetic bookmarks, which is also really exciting. And on top of that, there's even a few designs that I still have to finish. A lot to do before September 5th. So let's just save you all from having to look at these ridiculous excuses for earrings and just get going. Let's start out our artistic pursuits by making these resin handmade pins, and I've been looking forward to them so much, like you have no idea. For this shop update, I have 4 designs ready, but the first test is going to be with this Artist Therapy palette design. So I drew a white border around the design and then formatted the file. I made sure to enlarge the image by 3 times the size I actually want the pin to eventually be, because shrink plastic will, as the name suggests, shrink in the oven. I then printed the design on the shrink plastic, and by the way, for anyone who would like to try this, make sure you get solid white plastic and not transparent paper, because that will wash out your opaque designs a lot. And then it was time for my silhouette machine to actually cut out the now soon-to-be huge pin. And then it was time to heat up the oven. Unfortunately, my oven has a black raster in front of the glass, so I tried to film a satisfying shrink sequence, but it was not much use. Helaas pindakaas, as we say in Holland. Here the pin just came out of the oven and it was still hot and flexible, so I tried to squish it with this wooden spoon to make sure it was flat. I did not quite succeed and I was not happy with the colors that darkened in the oven, but I did decide to keep going just to teach myself the process. And then it was time for the resin smothering. Please, everyone doing this, wear protective gloves. Resin is toxic to the human skin, and please be kind to yourself. I'm using UV resin and make sure to distribute it evenly by using a wooden stick to spread it out. I bought this super cheap nail polish UV lamp that dried my resin pretty quickly, in like less than a minute, I think. And then here you see the result. As I said, it's a tester, there's lots of work to do, but the resin did dry and I did put pin backings on the pin. I glued them on with super glue and they stuck to the dried shrink plastic marvelously. I have these black pin back covers, and well, that basically concludes my test. Before I went on to the next attempt, I evaluated this test. I need to make sure the colors are not so dark, that the plastic will be actually flat, and that the resin is evenly distributed. With all the skills I learned during the test, I was pretty sure I could start producing pins for real this time. I put down the opacity of each design by a good 40% so that when the colors darkened in the oven it would even out. I also made the pins a bit smaller. I wanted pins of like 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters, and the tester was literally double that size. Again, no footage from the oven, sorry. But yeah, here you can see the difference between the shrinked pins and the pre-oven pins. I repeated the process for basically all of my designs, starting with this graph showing that the more you play Animal Crossing, the happier you will be, and trust me, that is very true. I also made these owl tickets, and they're honestly one of the best designs I've ever made. And okay, yes, I gave in. Here's me trying to film the oven shrinking, but yeah, I don't have much to say about it. You just watch it, I guess. Well, I did learn from the test because these all came out pretty good. I made 2 pins of each design. I don't expect them to sell out very quickly because I still struggle getting regular orders, but even making 8 of these literally took hours. And that is why all of this footage is sped up like crazy. First, I put a sticker with my logo on the back of each pin because branding is kind of important. Then I cleaned the rough shrink plastic, put on a fresh pair of gloves, and started working. This is sped up so much, but it takes a lot of patience and a very steady hand, which I don't actually have, so it took quite a bit out of me. Then I put all the pins in the UV lamp, and I have a few shots here, one of all the pins straight after the lamp, and one of all the pins a couple days later in the sun when they were very solid and very strong. One of the most fun things to do when making pins is to make the backing cards. Designing them is super fun and they really bring a product to life. Also, I bought this guillotine paper cutter and it's so satisfying, oh my god. Also, while we're watching this story time, I'm editing this literally at like 2 AM, and before I started editing, I handed in an essay for my university degree, and I literally just got an email back from my teacher saying "Dankjewel, welterusten," which means thank you and sleep well, so my teacher is also still awake. Yeah, I'm really happy with these backing cards. After a few days when the pins were completely dry, I glued the pin backings onto them. And then of course I had to film the first time I put one of these pins on the backing cards and pack them nicely. Honestly, I'm super proud of these. I'm really happy with how they came out. Next up on the shop update to-do list are all the stickers. Honestly, my last 2 studio vlogs were basically all about stickers, and I'm going to skip most of this for now. It is maybe important to note that I made this cancer support freebie because throughout the entire month of November, all Etsy sale profits will go to charity, and everyone will receive a fun freebie like this purple one. But yeah, I didn't even film making all of the new stickers. If you want to see them all, just head over to my shop. Also, in my head, making sticker sheets was this really interesting thing to film, but it just really isn't. I might make a silhouette portrait sticker tutorial in the future, but for now, it was only showing settings in menus, and yeah, it wasn't that interesting, so skip, thank you, next! What is interesting, because it's arguably my favorite kind of product to make, are magnetic bookmarks. My bookmarks are printed on glossy photo paper, but they are laminated to make a very waterproof and sturdy bookmark. Well, we've seen the cutting process so many times now, thank God I have this beautiful machine. But the really fun part is this, it's folding the bookmarks and then using this magnetic tape to make sure both sides stick to one another, even with a page in between. This is basically the result, and as an avid reader, I use my own bookmarks basically every day. I love them so much. I also made some different designs. This Winnie the Pooh one makes me very happy, and I made a book wizard design to match my book witch design. To end the to-do list of the day, it was finally time to make some tote bags. I was really excited to start doing this. I did make a tester product before. I made a bag for myself with my own logo on it, but I did make a short about it, and I hope I can link it somewhere in the screen for you to watch. But yeah, for the shop update, I had 5 designs ready. 2 of those are my best-selling compendium art prints that I wanted to put in a bag. And then we also have the book wizard and the book witch, and a brand new design, which is this reader tarot card. Making tote bags with sublimation vinyl like I do is surprisingly easy. If you are someone who loves creating and would like to try this yourself, all you really need are, well, a tote bag, an iron, baking paper, sublimation vinyl, a printer, and scissors. I use a sublimation flex called Easy Color Sublimation Flex by a brand called Scissor, I don't really know how to pronounce it. But basically, you print out your design and then cut it out. I use my silhouette machine for that, but you can also just use scissors. And then you peel off the backing paper. It leaves you with a very thin, stretchy vinyl that you will lay out on a cotton surface, and then you put baking paper over it. They say you should use like an official sublimation thingy to protect your design, but I use baking paper and honestly it works like a charm, so don't waste your money. You then grab your iron. I have a steamless one that has a special setting for cotton surfaces, but I don't know if irons that do steam will also work. I think they do, but I would just advise you to make sure you keep moving the iron around and you won't press down on one specific spot too much, because then you might burn through the vinyl. But yeah, you iron over the design beneath the baking paper and it will stick to the cotton. Of course, it won't be the quality of embroidery or like professional sublimation, but for handmade products, it's so perfect. I use my own logo bag all the time, and the sublimation has not come off. I put it in a washing machine, I rub it over the floor, put a water bottle in it that leaked, and it has some darkening spots, but it's still very usable and even pretty. The easy thing about this is also that if the sublimation comes off, which in theory it shouldn't, but it might, all you have to do is grab an iron and some baking paper and like 30 seconds of your day to fix it. I did edit this video down quite a bit, but the original footage was only half an hour, and half an hour for making 5 bags is pretty reasonable, I feel like. Also, yes, I 100% filmed this in the middle of the night, and yes, I am wearing pajamas because I just came out of the shower. Please don't judge, I needed to have this done the next day, so I was in a rush, okay? Here are some pictures of the end result, and I really hope you like them, and I hope my customers like them too. Well, that was all the producing my little home studio endured. The shop update did not go live on September 5th. It took me way longer to finish everything. I think eventually the shop update went live on September 27th, so that's about 20 days late, but hey, sometimes life just gets in the way. Speaking of time, this video took me more than a month to film and edit, and the last video on this channel was 3 months ago. I feel like I should upload more, especially to have our little community here grow, but maybe I should choose some projects that take less time to edit and make and just take less energy out of my life in general. So if you have any ideas for videos or things that you would like me to do, please leave them in the comments. It could be some games that you would like me to play, some real-time drawings, some sketchbook flip-throughs, some tutorials, some different type of vlogs. Just let me know. I honestly have a lot of ideas for this channel, but for some reason the universe only gave us 24 hours in a day and my life is pretty busy, so I'm sorry if I don't upload that much. I hope that will change in the future. Anyway, the shop update that you just watched being made is now live, and until November 1st, all profits will go to charity, and that is because I really wanted to do something since my aunt passed earlier this month. Thank you so much for watching, and if you made it to the end, comment an emoji that you associate with fall for the fall update. I hope you have a great day or night, and it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and stuck around. Bye! It's raining outside, la 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 la. Me, 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 me. Why can't I speak? Oh my god. I am crocodile.